Hey everybody, it's Mike Valtos from Orderflows, and I'm pleased to announce that on Thursday, January 25th at 4:15 Eastern Time, I'll be doing a presentation with NinjaTrader on Orderflow and explain the advantages of Orderflow. And if you are interested in Orderflow, you should attend, because if you attend, you'll get a copy of my 150-page book, Trading Orderflow. Now, it's not an actual physical book copy. You'd have to download it, and you could print it up, or you could just, read it on your phone or read it on your tablet, however you like. But, why is why am I doing this presentation? Is because, I want to teach traders how to use Orderflow. So if you find yourself struggling to get an edge over other traders, I like this picture, 3 cheese versus 4 cheese, both made by Kraft. Sometimes my wife says, hey, I'm making lasagna, go buy some cheese. Well, what type do you want? Oh, I don't know, 3 cheese. Well, hey, maybe if you use 4 cheese, it might taste better. It's kind of a silly, silly analogy, but, it's one I like to keep things lighthearted and put things in context. But again, it's on Thursday, January 25th at 4:15 Eastern Time, and it's sponsored by NinjaTrader. And NinjaTrader, honestly, is coming out with their own Orderflow tool. I think that's one of the reasons why they want to get a lot of Orderflow webinars out there in the meantime. But I really want to teach you how to use Orderflow, and whether you use my software or whether you use another software or another vendor's version of Orderflow. I really just want you to understand how to use Orderflow. But again, the presentation I'm going to be doing is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading is risky, contains substantial risk, and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And you're not buying Bitcoin, so commodities and futures can go up and down. There's what they call circuit breakers. With the Bitcoin, there's no circuit breakers in the actual Bitcoin market. On the futures there are, but Bitcoin is just one of those. It's just another form of investment, and just as futures are. So what I'll be talking about is the immediate benefits of introducing Orderflow into your trading. And a lot of traders don't understand the benefits of using Orderflow, and I'm going to explain that in the presentation. Another thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to show you the easiest way to understand what's happening in the market so you can make better trading decisions using Orderflow. Sometimes people look at an Orderflow chart and they're very confused because they don't understand what it is that they're really looking at. And once they do, really the market becomes a lot easier to solve. If you think of the market as a puzzle, once you understand where the end pieces are, the edge pieces are on the puzzle, that's your starting point. And hopefully after the presentation you will understand. But another thing I want you to understand is why Orderflow matters. Now, some people say, oh, Orderflow is garbage, Orderflow is rubbish, it doesn't matter, I can trade price action and make good decisions. Again, if you're successful in your trading and you don't want to take your trading further, okay, fine. Maybe Orderflow is not going to be for you. But, if you're somebody that wants to improve their game, you will want to understand Orderflow. Again, the great basketball players, Michael Jordan, every year he would find a new facet to improve his game. When he started out, it was all slam dunks. Then over the years, he added defense, right? He became Defensive Player of the Year how many years in a row? So, it's not about just saying, okay, I have a way to make money, or I have a way to be successful in the markets, and that's it, and never evolve. No, you should always be constantly evolving, whether it's in trading, or whether it's in your job, or whether it's in your relationship. Always look for ways to improve yourself. Now, again, one of the things that really bothers me is people say, well, to be successful in anything, it takes 10,000 hours. Do people understand what 10,000 hours is? Imagine you're working 8 hours a day. Do the math. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 52 weeks. That's 4.5 years, or 4.8 years. That's almost 5 years. That's not including weekends or holidays. Now, I've never met a company, a trading firm specifically, that's going to hire you and say, okay, just sit in front of a screen for 10,000 hours. No, if you can't figure it out relatively quick, you're not going to have a job much longer. They're not going to fund you for 5 years until you, quote, figure it out or become an expert at it. When I left the trading floor and I worked upstairs, this is with Dean Witter, and this is when Globex was just starting to take off. This was in the 90s, early 90s. It was unemployment week, and I started on Sunday night, and I didn't even know how to really even use the Globex terminal. I had done a couple order entries here and there, but that was about it. And so it was a brand new way of trading to me. And I just remember one of the guys on the desk says, okay, today's Monday. You got until Friday to figure it out. And because Friday was the non-farm payrolls, the biggest, it's still a big number, but back in the 90s, that was, quote, the number that everyone looked for every month. And volatility in the S&Ps was off the charts. You'd have even in the bonds, you get a full point up, a full point down. Now it reacts a little bit, but if you can have a mistake and it's going to be against you, it's going to be very expensive. So forget about this 8 hours a day, 5 days a week over 52 weeks, is equaling 5 years for 10,000 hours. No, I really want to teach you how to get up to speed on order flow quickly. I like to teach people order flow, and really I say, if you just do what I say, I'll say do what I say, but if you just follow the steps that I lay out for you, you can pick it up, have a good working knowledge, add it to your trading within 2 weeks. That's not 10,000 hours. That's 2 weeks, not 4.8 years. That's 2 weeks. And that's, even if you're just using 1 or 2 hours a day, at least you'll get a good understanding and can start using it. Now, if you want to speed it up, you could do it in 2 or 3 days. Again, I'm talking from somebody that's got no experience with it to getting to a level where you can start understanding order flow. And another thing I'll talk about is spot price rejection and use it to your advantage. Again, people don't understand why moves stop, right? It's because you see price rejection. People say, well, you've hit resistance. Well, sometimes you hit price rejection too. Markets reject prices as either being too high or too low. And another thing that I'll be talking about is market generated support and resistance levels. A lot of people think they understand support and resistance, but they really don't. They're just basically looking at a chart and saying, well, price traded here, that's got to be a support level or a resistance level. We traded here twice. Well, not really. It can be something else that's going on. And I'm going to show you, with order flow, if you watch some of my other videos, you'll understand how the market can tip you off that there is support or resistance as soon as you trade a level, right? And that's where your edge is going to come in, because you'll know if you're using order flow that you've hit a level where there's support or there's resistance right as soon as you hit it, okay? And you start to move away. You'll know then that you have support or resistance. And I'm going to give you one of my trade setups. This is a trade setup that I've been talking about to my users for how many years already. It's a great setup. You could risk 3 ticks per trade with potentials for 10 to 15 ticks per trade. Everyone always says, so you got to have, what's your risk reward or what's your winning percentage? If you've got a trade where you're only risking 3 ticks to get back, 10 or 15 ticks, the odds are on your side. Okay, so that's really what you should be looking for as a trader. And again, pain relief just ahead. I'm going to make order flow easy. Join me on the 25th at 4:15 Eastern Time. The sign up is in the link below. You can also just type in orderflows.com/webinar. It'll take you to a landing page. Then you could just click on there and go to the actual page. I try to keep things simple. People say, well, why is the orderflows.com sign up page a little bit different than the link in the description? Is because one is just goes to my website, from my website, and it just forwards you or takes you to the sign up page on NinjaTrader. So again, if you can't attend, it's good to at least register, because at least you'll be on the distribution list for future webinars on order flow. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And want to learn more about order flow, visit my website, orderflows.com. And I hope to see you there on Thursday. Bye bye.